Leo Tolstoy's What Men Live By is not a vast, multi-volume epic like War and Peace or Anna Karenina, but rather a parabola short story filled with deep moral and spiritual meaning. Despite its brevity, it contains a message that has touched millions of readers across the world. A message about compassion, divine love, and the essence of human life. The story begins simply, almost like a folktale, yet unfolds into a profound exploration of faith and the human condition. The main character is Simon, a poor shoemaker who lives in a small Russian village. He struggles daily to support himself and his wife Matrena. Work is scarce, money is tighter still, and Simon often feels the burden of poverty pressing down on his shoulders. Yet, like so many of Tolstoy's humble characters, Simon endures, trying to live with dignity despite hardship. One cold autumn day, Simon sets out to buy sheepskin to make himself a winter coat. He has saved some money, though not enough, and he hopes to find a seller who will allow him to pay later or to accept a smaller sum. But when he goes into town, his efforts are in vain. Every merchant demands more than he has. Disappointed and chilled by the wind, Simon begins the long walk home, empty-handed and resentful of his lot in life. On his way, something unusual happens. He passes by a small chapel, and near its wall, he notices a strange figure. At first, Simon does not know what to make of it. There, sitting hunched against the cold stone, is a man barefoot, nearly naked, trembling in the bitter wind. His body is weak, his face pale, and it is clear that he has been abandoned to die in the cold. Simon hesitates. His first instinct is to keep walking. After all, he himself is poor, and he has no coat of his own. What could he possibly give to this stranger? Besides, he reasons, perhaps this man has brought misfortune upon himself. Perhaps he is a sinner, or even a criminal. Why should Simon risk his limited resources for someone he does not know? But as he begins to walk away, his conscience troubles him. He recalls the teachings of his faith, the Christian commandment to clothe the naked and help the suffering. At last, he turns back. He removes his own outer garment, a tattered coat, and gives it to the stranger. Then he helps the man to his feet and takes him home. Matrena, Simon's wife, is not pleased. When her husband arrives with a strange, half-naked man instead of the sheepskin coat he promised, she scolds him bitterly. They barely have enough to eat for themselves. Why should they share with another mouth? But as she looks closer at the stranger, something in her heart softens. She sees the suffering in his eyes, the quiet dignity with which he accepts her anger. Moved with pity, she offers him bread and soup, and together, she and Simon give him shelter for the night. The man does not speak at first. He seems dazed, his expression sorrowful, yet oddly serene. Over time, however, he begins to work with Simon, learning the shoemaker's trade. He proves to be remarkably skilled with his hands, shaping leather with unusual precision. Soon Simon is proud of his new helper, though he still knows nothing of the man's past. The villagers are curious, but the stranger remains quiet, humble, and gentle, avoiding questions. One day, a wealthy nobleman comes to Simon's shop. He orders a pair of sturdy boots, insisting that they must be made to last at least a year, or Simon will face punishment. Simon agrees, but when he looks later at the boots his mysterious companion has made, he is shocked. Instead of tall, heavy boots, the stranger has crafted delicate slippers, the kind used to dress a dead man for burial. Simon fears disaster. Surely the nobleman will be enraged. But the next day, word arrives that the nobleman has died suddenly. The slippers, it turns out, are exactly what he required. Simon is bewildered. How could his companion have known this? Slowly, a sense of awe grows in him. This stranger is no ordinary man. Years pass, and the stranger lives quietly with Simon and Matrena, helping them in their work and becoming part of their household. He speaks little, but always acts with kindness, humility, and patience. Then, one day, two women come to the shop. One is a wealthy lady, the other a poor peasant woman with a little girl. The wealthy lady is the child's godmother and has promised to provide her with shoes, but the girl is deformed, weak, and sickly. As Simon watches, he notices something extraordinary. His mysterious helper suddenly smiles for the first time since he has known him. That smile becomes the turning point of the story. Simon finally asks who this man truly is, why he came to them, and why he smiles now. The man reveals his identity. He is an angel, sent by God with a task. Long ago, he had been sent to take the soul of a poor woman who had just given birth. But when the woman pleaded for her life, begging for time to raise her baby, the angel disobeyed. He left her alive, hoping to see the child's fate. For his disobedience, God cast him down to earth, commanding that he could not return until he learned three truths: what dwells in man, what is not given to man, and what men live by. For years, the angel searched for answers. When Simon clothed him and Matriana fed him, he understood the first truth: what dwells in man is love. When the nobleman demanded boots that would last a year but died the very next day, the angel learned the second truth: what is not given to man is the knowledge of his own needs. And when he saw the poor woman and the godmother lovingly caring for the sick child, he finally learned the third truth: men live not by care for themselves, but by love. Having discovered these truths, the angel's mission was complete. In Simon's humble home, he reveals his radiant, heavenly form, blesses the family, and returns to God. Simon and Matriana, awestruck, realize that their acts of simple kindness brought them into contact with the divine. Tolstoy's What Men Live By is a story of faith, but also of universal human truth. Its message transcends religious boundaries. At its core, it says that human beings are not sustained by wealth, power, or even knowledge. We live by love for each other, love expressed through compassion, sacrifice, and kindness. The story reminds us that even the poorest person can be rich in love, and that it is this love that gives life meaning. Tolstoy wrote this tale after his own spiritual crisis, during which he abandoned aristocratic pleasures and sought a simpler, more moral existence. Like much of his later work, What Men Live By reflects his belief in Christian values, not as rigid dogma, but as a living force in human life. It is a call to humility, to kindness, to the recognition that our lives are interconnected in ways we cannot always see. As readers, we are left to reflect. Do we truly understand what sustains us? Are we aware of how much our lives depend on the unseen kindness of others? Tolstoy asks us to look beyond selfish desire and fear, and instead to recognize that love is the real source of strength. So, what do you think of this story? Do you agree with Tolstoy that love is what men live by? Or do you see other forces that sustain us? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this retelling, make sure to subscribe to Fast Book Pod for more inspiring book summaries. And don't forget to like the video to support the channel.
The summary of another book is finished. What did you learn from this book? Have you read it before? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel.